self-determination. So what you guys are seeing right now is this is actually from Cynthia G's channel. I'm not going to play her video, or anything like that. I just wanted you guys to see the headline. All of this is about the kid Bakari Henderson, who was in Greece. I'm sure every one of you guys know about this story now. Bakari Henderson was the black man. I think he was 22 years old. He was beaten to death in Greece following an altercation in a night spot. A night spot or a club of some sort in Greece. And on Cynthia G's channel, she showed the newspaper article that was translated into English from Greek. Now, I just want to, and I first heard about the story from Phil Scott from the Advice Show. Now, this image here is showing some of the men who were actually arrested and will be tried for involuntary manslaughter or whatever it is. That they're going to be tried in the case of Bakari Henderson. Now, I'm making this video because, as you guys saw before I started my commentary, were images of the altercation that happened inside the club and the incident that happened following that altercation that led to them out in the streets. Him running away from this mob of white people in Greece, running for his life. Now, this is what I want to ask. Where in the fuck were all of his white friends? Because he was in Greece with his white friends. Where were they? Where were his friends? Why were they not there with him, protecting him, fighting with him? Because if you guys have seen the video, which and this is one of his friends right here. Now, I showed you in the beginning. Now, apparently this situation was caused because he was supposedly taking a selfie with one of these white Greek chicks at this bar or club. But in actuality, if you actually look at it, it was someone else taking a selfie, and I guess he just got caught in the shot or whatever. And then you see him and a white dude having words or whatever, and a white dude looked like he tried to hit him or he hit him with something because you see him kind of jerk and flinch. And then next thing you know, you see Bakari teeing off on the dude. And then I guess after that, he started to get, these dudes started to gang up on him, and he ran out of the club. Where were his friends? Listen, black people, this is what I want to say to you guys. This is what I want to say to you. You don't have any friends other than fucking black people. You don't have any friends. And no matter how cool white people seem to be with you, no matter how liberal they are always going to protect white. They are always going to protect white supremacy first. They're always going to protect their own over you. I'm sorry that I have to say this. And to all of the white people out here who this does not apply to, then don't take offense to this. If this does not apply to you, then there's no reason for you to get angry. If you're not that type of white person, there's nothing for you to talk about. There's nothing for you to comment on, because this isn't for you. This is for all of your kindred spirits or people such as yourself or other white people who are this way. This is for them. This is for white people who claim to be cool and liberal and have a diverse circle of friends, but to stand by and watch you get your ass beat to death. A coworker of mine, I asked him one day when I was working at a particular location, or rather, I didn't even ask him. He was telling me about how race, because he's from Michigan, and he was telling me about how racist his uncle and his dad were, And we talked about that. So I asked him. He was like, "But they used the word, but I don't think that they would actually do anything to hurt a black person or whatever." So I asked him. I was like, "That may be true, but if they were sitting in a restaurant or something and they saw a black person getting their ass kicked by a bunch of white people, would they do anything?" And he was like, and he couldn't answer the question. I was like, "Well, based on what you told me about your uncle and your dad, they probably wouldn't do a fucking thing. They probably join in on it." You know what I'm saying? The conversation went to that degree. Basically, it was this. You can't tell me that somebody's not racist, but they use the N-word and refer to black people as N-words, and also degrade black people and talk down on them. But your defense of them is, but they wouldn't actually do anything to hurt a black person. But if they're not willing to do anything to help me either, I don't give a fuck what they would be willing to do or not do. They've already solidified who they are. They may not lift a finger to hurt you, but they won't do shit to help you if they see you need it. Plain and simple. They might even be your friend. Let you in their house, eat their food. But when it comes to them fighting against one of their own, for you, that shit is out of the question. It's out of the question. And unfortunately, Bakari Henderson learned that lesson the hard way. He learned that the hard way. Unfortunately. Now, I'm not going to be so cold as to say that, this kid, I can't be so cold as to say this. I can't be so cold as to say he deserved what he got or he had it coming. However, what I will say is that it is unfortunate to feel as though they cannot be engaging with other black people. It's sad, really. It's really sad that this is how black people view each other. That listen, being liberal, I don't even like the term liberal. I don't like the word because it's bullshit. The word liberal is bullshit. It's a new way that racist white people have found to be racist and to continue down the path of white supremacy while bamboozling you into thinking that they're your fucking friend. This dude was in Greece with his white friends. And this is the end result of that. Him getting his kid kicked in Greece by white people. Now, white people all across the world will say they're not racist. And now, mind you, a lot of white people who claim they're not racist, they like a black athlete. They listen to black music. They listen to rap. You know what I'm saying? I just now bought the Ready to Die album. I'm not racist. These are the things that racist white people believe makes them not racist. Is because they talk to a black person at school. Oh, I played on the basketball team with black people. I'm not racist. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And again, I'm not claiming that all white people are racist. However, you're far and few in between to find those who are not fucking racist or white supremacists. They will always defend and protect themselves. They will always do that. As you can see in the case of Bakari Henderson. They will always defend and protect themselves. One of the guys is 34 years old. You realize that the paper in Greece was saying that this 34-year-old man was a child who he's a child. He's never been in trouble with the law ever in his life, not even so much as a parking violation. How the fuck are you 3 steps away from 40 and considered a fucking child? This is white supremacy protecting their own. White supremacy protecting their own. That's what that is. That is exactly, abso-fucking-lutely what that is. White supremacy protecting their own. I am saddened by this young brother being killed. But what I feel more, I guess, empathy about, or what I feel more emotional about, is the fact that he went overseas with a bunch of white people who didn't protect him. Same thing with the kid in Maryland. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry for not remembering his name. Who was stabbed in the chest by a white supremacist and died. I think he had Asian and white friends with him. And they stood there and watched him get shanked in the fucking chest. And instead of them beating the fuck out of the white dude who did it, they just stood by. Oh, they called the police and shit, but they pretty much did nothing. Now, how many of you would have been in a situation like that and would have stood by and watched your homeboy get approached by, first off, by this white dude who told him to move the fuck out of the way? First off, the situation wouldn't have gone any further than that had he been with 3 or 4 other brothers and that white dude walked past him, was walking towards him and told him that shit. The situation wouldn't have gone any further than that. because they probably would have whipped his ass right then and there or stepped to him. First and foremost. Secondly, even if it had gone as far as him pulling out the blade or stabbing this dude, they would have beat the living shit out of that white dude for doing that shit. I couldn't see being with any of my boys, you know what I'm saying? And some dude saying some shit like that, and all of us not approaching that motherfucker or stabbing one of our boys, and him just casually walking the fuck off. Just casually walking the fuck off and waiting for the police to come lock his ass up. Man, come on. Black people, listen. I know black people want to be included in white America so bad. We want to be accepted by white people worldwide so fucking bad that we forget who the fuck we are and we forget where the fuck we are. We are on planet Earth. Planet Earth. The white man, and again, this is not for any white person who this does not apply to. So if you're offended by what I'm saying, then this must be you. Because white people who are truly not racist or white supremacists don't take offense to black people talking about this shit, because they talk about this shit too. Just remember that. White people who are not white supremacists will tell you the same shit that black people who are tired of white supremacy tell you. They will say the same shit. They may not say it with the same amount of emotion or anger that we do, but they will say the same shit. They will tell you that white supremacy exists and that it's some fucked up shit and that it's a sickness that white people have. This unbridled, this unintelligible fear that white people have for black people is what causes the white supremacy. But anyway, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm not going to be insensitive and say that the brother deserved it, you know. But this is a message to all black people, all young, especially you millennials, you new breed of black kids. You guys are completely fucking clueless, and you guys have not 1 ounce of fucking street smarts. Not 1 ounce of street smarts. I'm telling you right now. You guys are getting too comfortable around the fucking enemy. White supremacists, white racist supremacists. You're getting too comfortable with these people, and they're showing you their true colors every step of the fucking way. I don't give a fuck how liberal or cool they seem. When the shit hits the fucking fan, they don't have your back. Look at Serena Williams and her new husband. She's pregnant with her first child, and people have been going in on her. And the white dude hasn't said a fucking word. He has not come into defense of his wife or his unborn child yet. This is what you can expect. This is what you can expect from white supremacy. They are not going to fucking defend you. They are not going to have your back. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, like I said, it may not be all white people who are on this, but you'll be hard pressed. And they started up a GoFundMe account for this dude. So you guys see it. If you guys want to donate or whatever, or support the GoFundMe, you know, check it out, man. But this is a reminder. This should be a reminder, a caution to all black people everywhere around the fucking world. You cannot let your guard down around white people. You cannot allow yourself to be sucked in by this bullshit narrative of all lives matter. Yeah, we already know that all lives matter. That's the fucking point of Black Lives Matter. Because apparently in this world, as you can see, the only black lives don't really matter to people. Listen, black people, young black people, you need to find yourselves and surround yourselves with groups of like-minded other African people. Black African, I don't give a fuck what nation they're from. If they're black, you need to ally yourself with other like-minded black people. That's why that's why I support the Advice Show. That's why I support Cynthia G. You know, brothers like Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm gonna do another video on the whole Umar Johnson and Roland Martin thing. But that incident right there let me that incident with Umar Johnson and Roland Martin, because I kind of fell off from Dr. Umar, you know what I'm saying, because of the issue with the dude SETI or whatever. But like a man, he came on for the world to see and apologized and humbled himself. I wish that shit would have never happened, but I have re-sparked my interest in Dr. Umar after seeing how Roland Martin, coon tap dancing ass, and now listen to this, because I like the way Phil Scott put this. I think it was Phil Scott from the Advice Show. Black Republicans are basically white liberals in blackface because they say the same shit. In blackface because they say the same shit. Let's not forget that Roland Martin is Hillary Clinton's houseboy. He's her house Negro. So you understand where he's getting a lot of his funding and support from the Democratic Party. Because he's all for that movement. Not black people saying, fuck Democrat and Republican. We need to vote for what's best for our common interests. Fuck supporting the Democratic Party and fuck supporting the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? What Roland Martin did to Dr. Umar was some bullshit. And he showed his coon card. He played his hand. And his coon card fell the fuck out of his hand. He played that shit. He played it. Roland Martin has done some shit and got on and roasted some white supremacists. But what he did to Dr. Umar was some bullshit. But anyway, black people, surround yourselves. Oh yeah, and this is why I support the Lions Den too, the LDBC. This is why I support the LDBC. Because I like the fact that they are a group of brothers that crisscross the fucking country. And they have allied themselves with each other. They have created a platform where they can go to and link up with and connect with other like-minded black men. That's why I support that movement. You know, that's whether I'm a part of the LDBC or not, it doesn't fucking matter. I still support what they do. I support the idea. You understand? Black men coming together in support of each other. I still do that. And whether I'm a member or not, these brothers still support my channel. They still watch my videos and comment on my videos. You know what I'm saying? I get advice here, you know, every now and then from them. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple of their numbers. We chat it up, you know, chop it up about shit. It's all gravy. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether I am labeled LDBC or not. You know what I'm saying? I support those brothers and they support me. And that's what we need more of. Black men, black people. We need to support each other. We need to support our own. Because what happened to Bakari Henderson, after this day, there should never be another black man that gets caught out there and gets the shit stomped out of him anywhere in the fucking world because he decided to not ally himself with his own people. We are the only ones that have our fucking backs because we're the only ones that understand what the fuck we are going through. We are the only ones that understand it. No other race of people. No other race of people really understand, or nor do they give a fuck. They don't care. There's no outrage for the shit that continues to happen to black people. No outrage at all. No other black person should ever allow themselves to get caught out there the way Bakari Henderson was caught out there. Nobody ever. This is his family, a brother and a sister. His parents, I'm assuming this is his parents. This is his family, I'm assuming that. Man, come on, man. Come on. Now his family is down one child now because of white supremacy. Because white people could not resist the fucking temptation to fucking gang up on a black dude. They could not resist that shit. He got into an issue with one dude and 8, 9 other cats decided to fucking join in and stomp a mud hole in this dude. Stomp his head in until he lost his fucking life. Away from home. Black people, do not travel the fucking world by yourself. Do not travel the world by yourself. Always have a circle of thorough ass strong brothers that you know at the drop of a dime they gonna tee off and crack somebody's jaw for you. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I am advocating for fucking self-defense and learning some type of martial art, whether it's boxing, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, hapkido, aikido. I don't give a fuck what it is. You need to start defending and protecting yourself. You need to learn skills that are going to allow you to, even if you can't beat up a gang of motherfuckers. to engage them long enough to keep them from fucking you up. At least you may not be able to kick 8 dudes' ass, but you'll be able to engage 5 of them motherfuckers at least with the right amount of skill. It's not totally unheard of. You understand? With the proper training and conditioning, it's not totally unheard of. I'm not saying you're gonna be, super Negro after this happens. I'm just saying, look, defend yourself, protect yourself. Do not travel the fucking world with groups of white people. I'm sorry that I have to say that shit, but as you can see, no matter how cool his white friends were, they did not have his fucking back. And as we continue to fucking see time and time again, you ally yourself with certain white individuals and white supremacists start coming at your fucking throat, and they do not have your back. The 2 most recent examples that I can think of is this brother Bakari Henderson and Serena Williams. Some people may label them coons or whatever. I'm not going to go that far, especially in a tragic time like this for his family. I'm not going to go that far to call that brother a coon. You know what I'm saying? His family has had enough tragedy. However, I will say this to his parents. They should have played more of a fucking role in his life, promoting black unity and him having black friends. They should have promoted in the climate of the racial climate of this country. I'm trying to understand how his parents allowed him to go to a predominantly all-white country like Greece with nothing but white friends, without any other black people going with him. I get it. This brother wanted to travel the world. Nothing wrong with what he was doing. Nothing wrong with the idea or the thought process. Nothing wrong with any of that. But I'm just saying to you, use this brother's death, and I hate to say that. I really hate to put it that way. Use what happened to him. I should change the word from death. Use the incident that occurred with the brother Bakari Henderson as a testament to why black people cannot travel the world by themselves. Do not allow yourself to get caught out there. You know what I'm saying? 3 or 4 other brothers fighting alongside of him. At the most, they probably would have got their asses kicked. At the most. They probably would have got their asses kicked. At the least, they probably would have been able to whip at least 8 of those dudes' ass. If it was 3, 4, 5 of them, they probably would have did a good job of defending themselves. Now, you go back to back and you just start teeing off. Anyway. Do not travel the world by your fucking... Don't travel this fucking country by yourself. Real talk, man. Always have other brothers with you. Somebody who can fight with you or bear witness to some fucked up shit that's gonna happen to you. We cannot allow as black people these types of things, these type of incidents to continue to plague us and allow people to get away with the shit that they do to us. We cannot continue to afford these situations to constantly happen to us, to our children. This brother was 22, just graduated high school. Fucking shit is about to die. Just graduated, not high school, I'm sorry, college. About to start his own business. You know what I mean? Start his own business. You know what I mean? And now look at what happened. Do not travel this world by yourselves, black people. Do not travel this world. If you're gonna have a diverse group of friends, that's fine. But do not forget who you are. Do not forget who you are. You are black, and that's how the world sees you. White supremacists see us as niggers. And again, I'd say 98% of white people on this planet are fucking white supremacists. I'd say 98% of them are white supremacists who will say, do, think, and act on the continued thought process of white supremacy. 2% of white people on the planet probably despise the fuck out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Robin DiAngelo with her lectures on white fragility, and Jane Elliott on her blue eyes versus brown eyes experiments. These are the only 2 white people, and there are other white people. These are the only 2 white people that so far that I really give a fuck about, that actually talk about white supremacy and the dangers of it, and puts white people on blast for that shit. You know what I'm saying? If a white person isn't willing to stand up with you and say that same shit to you, with you, fight for you, then please don't ally yourself with them. Don't. Because a motherfucker who can't stand next to you and fight with you against some oppressive shit, they're your fucking enemy. They are your fucking enemy. Hands down, plain and simple. I am saddened that this brother had to lose his life, and I'm saddened that he had to lose his life in the way that he did. Surrounded by white people, getting the shit beat out of him. That shit in the CCTV camera, that shit was in black and white. Man, that shit it makes me remember photos of early 20th century lynchings and beatings of black people. It makes me think of, you know, situations that have happened in the 50s and the 60s with white people, or rather white supremacist cops hosing down black people and sicking dogs on them, beating the hell out of them with billy clubs and shit like that. It reminds me of that kind of shit. It reminded me of that kind of shit. So I feel for the young brother's family. It's a sad state of events that occurred and led to this young brother's death. I hope that all the young black people in this country, all the black people in this world that are privy to this information, that are aware of this story, will start to protect themselves from white supremacy. This is another picture of him. And his family. Protect yourselves from white supremacy. Protect yourselves from white supremacy. Do not go anywhere that's predominantly white with no black people with you. Do not. The brother obviously doesn't hate black people because he has a black family, but I don't know what lessons they taught him and why his entire circle was full of white people, but they say he had a very diverse group of friends. His entire circle, from what I understand, was nothing but white kids. So how the fuck is that diversity if you're the only bit of chocolate in a sea of fucking vanilla? What the fuck is diverse about that? You're the reason that the situation, him being their friend, is what made them have a diverse group of friends, because they had one black friend. I'm sorry, man. Look, there's nothing wrong with having white friends. But if they are not willing to accept the fact that white supremacy exists and speak out against that shit, they don't need to be your fucking friend. You don't need to ally yourself with them. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ally yourself with like-minded individuals and people who understand what white supremacy is. But that's it for this, man. I just wanted to say my piece on the Bakari Henderson situation. I think it's terrible what happened to the brother. I think it's a terrible thing that happened to the brother. But for all you coons out there, all you bootlicking, buck dancing motherfuckers, I hate for him to be the example. But let this serve as a fucking example for all you dudes. Because one day, whether it's in this form or not, this will happen to you. One way or fucking another. They will turn their backs on you and they will fucking tear you to pieces. One day it will happen. I'm not calling this brother a coon, but for all you coons out there, this is not, you're not far off from this yourselves. Remember this shit. This is what white people really think about us. This is how they really feel about us. No matter where the fuck you are in the world, this is how they feel.